Hey, YouTuber friends. I am coming on today and talking today about how Young Living has supported my body during COVID. And so, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Stephanie Storts. I am a teacher in South Central Pennsylvania, and hopefully you are familiar with my YouTube channel. I have a blog at debtfreespending.com and also just started a new blog at craftsmanfarmhousegirl.com as well. And just wanted to come in here and share a little bit of my COVID experience with you and how I supported my body during COVID with some Young Living products that were amazing for me. And so one of the things that you may not know about me is that I'm a teacher. And so I am pretty sure that my schools have been in session since the beginning of the year. And so we are fairly certain that I did contract COVID at one of my schools. We're not exactly sure when or how. I have my suspicions, but I'm not 100% sure. And so I actually contracted COVID over right before Thanksgiving break, and then went on Thanksgiving break and didn't have symptoms until the Monday after Thanksgiving was when I really started showing symptoms and was tested on Tuesday, which I think was December 1st, but don't quote me on that because I have COVID brain right now. But anyways, so December 1st was my positive test. And so I have been, my experience has been the not mild, but not the severe version. I'm like somewhere in between. I'm on day, I think 21 or so right now of when I completely started all of this. Because before my positive test on that Tuesday, I had like Sunday where I had no appetite for a couple days even before that. I would say like over the weekend, my appetite just wasn't real strong. But by Sunday, I had like zero appetite. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my COVID experience first, and then I'll get into how the product supported me. But I had basically like no appetite the first night. I had diarrhea, just going to be blunt with you. And so I didn't feel good. And then Monday I had a mild temp, which was like, I think it was Monday night. No, I'm sorry. It was Tuesday night. I had a mild temp after I had already tested positive, or either before or after. I'm not 100% sure. That's all kind of blurring together. But I had a temperature of like 100.6. And then the next night it was 102. And then after that, it was like around 101. It never went above 101 the rest of the week. And that lasted till I think Friday. I lost my sense of smell and taste on Thursday, and have still had diarrhea up until profuse diarrhea. And then just diarrhea every morning up until today was the first day that I did not have that. So praise Jesus. So I'm hoping to make it through the day without that. So yeah, it's just a different version of it. Just so you guys know, I'm a teacher. I've had all kinds of things. I've had strep. I've had hand, foot, and mouth disease. I've had mono. I've had pneumonia. I've had all kinds of things. And this, for my version of it, has been, and just so you know, I'm O positive. I am I don't know of any other underlying conditions that I would have had other than just having, gestational diabetes is about the only one I could think of. But I have a lot of GI issues. And so this seemed to attack my GI system pretty heavily. I never vomited. I just had diarrhea, like I said, the entire time. But I also had a lot of burning, itching, and stinging all over my body, along with a COVID rash. And so that was really not fun. In fact, I've only had about 2 days where I've been totally free of that. And up until that point, it got milder and milder, but like it was intense for 7 days. I was in tears. My doctor sent me for a chest x-ray, some blood work just to make sure it wasn't something else, checked all kinds of like, I think some liver function and some other things. I think even my potassium and magnesium and all those things. So just a couple different blood draws that he did to make sure, because I wasn't having the mild version. But I wasn't having the worst version either. We also, my mom was a nurse for 43 years, so we already had a pulse oximeter. So going into this, we had that. But I also have extreme anxiety. I've like always had some anxiety disorder since I was little. I have had panic disorder since I was about 18, and only experienced panic attacks usually in flights, when I'm flying on an airplane, or medical situations. So like there's the only 2 times I have them. And so it's very rare that I have them. But leading up to COVID, I think I tanked my immune system because I struggle with anemia. And so I had an iron infusion, and my second iron infusion right before Thanksgiving, I had a very severe reaction to the iron where they had to take me by ambulance. And I had to have actually the doctor called it, give her the antidote. So that was extreme, followed by, I think 50 cc's of Benadryl or whatever it was in my IV. And they took me by ambulance to the hospital. And I think that tanked my immune system pretty badly. So I am a firm believer in supporting the immune system. And I want to tell you that up until like right before that, I was so tired from my anemia and so exhausted from my anemia that I was not oiling. I was also struggling with some more severe anxiety and some very mild depression because of teaching in the middle of COVID. It's been very difficult to teach, and I'm not going to get into all that on this video, but I just want you to know that it's been very, very difficult on teachers this year. And so I'm speaking for, I'm sure, many teachers that can say the same thing. So one of the things that I did to support my body, as soon as I tested positive, because my stomach was so bad, I could not do Inner Defense, which is my favorite immune supporting supplement from Young Living. But because I do have a lot of GI problems, there are times where I really just can't do this product. And so it does have oregano essential oil in it. It's a hot oil. And so this is something that I've had some members tell me that they could not take it on an empty stomach. And so they do need to take it with food once a day. So for example, I had a member tell me that she took it 2 of them on an empty stomach, and it just really upset her stomach. She had a lot of stomach pain from it. So I've always taken this with food. And I always tell people, like, this is something that I would normally take with food, but I just couldn't even handle that. So I decided to do Immu Power on my feet every single day. So I was doing a lot of Immu Power on my feet every single day, all day long, every day, right? In addition to Thieves on my throat, because I know that they are both great for the supporting the immune system. And so Immu Power on my feet every single day, Thieves on my throat every single hour, literally. I kept it in my hoodie, and I would just pull it out and oil. As every time I would think about it, I would just oil with my Thieves. Those were my two go-tos to support my immune system the entire time. The other thing that I could not handle at first was any of my supplements. I could not do any supplements except for I live and die by my probiotic. And so because I already see a gastroenterologist, I already have a lot of GI issues. And this is my testimony, by the way. I'm not a doctor. I cannot diagnose, treat, or prescribe. I'm just sharing with you what I used and how I used it. I'm not telling you should do that. I'm just telling you how I used it. But Life 9 probiotic is my go-to. And even though the recommendation says on here once a day, I was taking this twice a day to help support my gut because of this constant diarrhea. And so I can tell you that I personally did notice a huge difference in the frequency of the diarrhea, and then it started to taper off, and then I was only having it in the morning. And then that's where I've been for about the last week. And so there were even a couple of days, like I forgot it in between there if I was really not feeling good or having a bad day, because again, COVID seems to present so differently for those of us that are survivors. It just seems so different from person to person that I talked to. Like I said, I didn't have the, lung version at all. I didn't have any cough the entire time. I had fever, diarrhea, and a lot of GI, like other GI issues, and just really weird random pains. I had the COVID rash on my arm, some on my stomach. I had the burning, itching, and stinging all over my body. It was just really weird. So anyways, I just did not have I had whatever some of us call the weird version. So because I was feeling some anxiety and panic, frankincense is my go-to for emotional support. Whenever I'm feeling anxious or feeling like I'm going to have a panic attack, I do frankincense all across the back of my neck. Sometimes I use a carrier oil. Sometimes I don't. I just put it directly on the back of my neck like that. I also was having trouble focusing and just even getting words straight some days. So to support my brain health, I did the frankincense, peace and calming, lavender, cedarwood, brain power, and vetiver were all of my go-tos to use to support the days where I couldn't even think straight. I call it COVID brain. So that was what I used to support that. For the nausea, I did a lot of aroma ease to support my digestive system. When I had nausea, I would just try to support that digestive system. And so I would use peppermint, digest, aroma ease, ylang ylang and patchouli just on my stomach, just to support my digestive system in general. And then I would, to support my emotional health, I was doing Stress Away, Valor, Peace and Calming. I have them in roll-ons, and I would do them on my forearm every single day. And then once I could finally get my body to accept supplements without getting profuse, I was having all this diarrhea. So once that started to calm down, then I was able to support, I was having tremendous hair loss. And so to support hair and nails, I'm doing Sulfurzyme in addition to my Ningxia Red. And I also do Super D, Vitamin D, and Super B, and taking a lot of chewable Super C. So the Super C is just a tablet that I just literally, you just chew it. Yeah, I take it. It's chewable. And I'm doing a decent amount of that every single day to support my body. So these are just, if I would have had anything with a cough or my lungs, I obviously would have supported my respiratory system with like Breathe Again, some eucalyptus, Robin Sarah, and Raven are my go-tos for the respiratory system. So hopefully these are just some tips for you guys. In addition to, hang on, where is my water? In addition to hydrating and eating well are my other two huge things that I've done to support my body. As soon as I could eat well again, I had like asparagus at dinner the one night. I was trying to get a lot of protein, eating a lot of chicken, anything. Last night I had some steak tips. So anything I can get my hands on that's good nutrition, I'm trying to do that, and hydrating all the time. When I had the diarrhea, we have electrolyte drops from Young Living called Vitality Drops. Love putting those as much as I could tolerate in my water. Usually just do a little squirt, try to get my electrolytes built back up as well. So these are just all of the things I was doing to support my body during this experience. Again, I'm not a doctor. I cannot diagnose, treat, or prescribe, and I'm not talking about treating any specific conditions. I'm just telling you how I supported all these systems in my body to get me through this tough time. So hopefully that helps somebody else. Message me. My email is steph@debtfreespending.com. If you want to tell me you're a COVID survivor and just connect, you can find me on Facebook and under Stephanie Stortz is my name. So hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.